guy, Kirk Knudsen. Kirk, great to see you. Interesting that the new phone comes out right when consumers are getting that $1,200 check.
It is cleverly timed, and the fact that it's a 40% markdown from the iPhone 11. So Apple with a very strategic move here to bring in a low-cost phone. But on a closer examination of the iPhone SE, which is their second generation of this phone, they really have rebuilt this phone from the ground up. So you're getting a lot of phone for not as much money. So $399 the starting price on this phone. It'll go on sale this Friday for pre-orders and delivers the next week, about a week later. 4.7-inch screen. How does that compare? The iPhone 11 is a 6.1-inch screen. It's got, though, the big seller here, it's got that A13 Bionic processor. What is that? It's the chip inside of Apple's iPhone that really makes it go super fast, makes the battery last really long. So you should get about 12 hours out of this budget phone. And then also it'll come with wireless charging. And that A13 processor also makes the camera and the photos act so incredibly well and look so spectacular. This phone, by the way, also with a trade-in, which you could go, when it goes on sale on Friday, you can put in what phone you have and see how much your trade-in might be worth from Apple. You could get the price as low as $229.
Mattie.
Kurt, Maria makes a good point about those stimulus checks, but this isn't just a U.S. play, right? Having a cheaper phone allows Apple to continue to try to get those emerging markets online and as Apple brand users.
Yeah, it'll actually, Mattie, good morning to you. It'll actually go on sale in multiple countries. The concern here is, though, that the China market may not respond so well to this phone because they've gone a lot further to adapt 5G into their phone systems there. The iPhone SE is not a 5G phone. We're expected to see that in future iPhone renditions, but not this one.
Jagan.
Quick thing I just wanted to point out. If somebody is getting a stimulus check, make an effort to get that money into the hands of American merchants, retailers, people in this country who sell goods made in the United States. So maybe don't buy a phone made in China. I know Apple is an American company, but Nat and I have been having this conversation for days now about if you get extra money, where should you spend it? You should make a targeted effort to get it into the hands of people who need it the most, or just use it as tip money for all your EMS workers and your doctors and your nurses and anybody who's really putting their life on the line. I just wanted to add that.
I like those ideas. I like those ideas a lot. And you know, Dagan, you've hit on something that's going to be one of the biggest challenges or issues for corporate America when we come out of this. What are they going to do? Continue to trust China when we know about the lies coming out of this? Remember a couple months ago when I came out and I said I hung up with one of my big sources in the hospital industry, and he told me that there were ships on their way to the U.S. holding important things like masks and plastic gloves, and they were told to turn around. That was the beginning of this whole mask issue where China tried to corner the market, and then we were out of the protective gear that we needed. So companies are going to have to make a decision. Do I do it all for the money? Do I make sure I have my supply chain in China because it's so much cheaper for employees? Or do I go the other way and make in America? Right. And make sure that you can trust your supply chain and trust and have truth in terms of what's going on.
Three things. You were first on the Wuhan virology lab being the source of this virus and not the wet market. You were first on the deep concern about protective gear and our health, like medicines being held up coming out of China. And you were first on the problems with testing. Very early on, you sounded the alarm. I remember being on this show. You said there are real problems with testing for COVID-19 in the United States. And indeed, that is still the biggest problem that we face as a nation as we're trying to reopen. So 1, 2, 3, the list goes on, but those are the three biggies.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm glad that our viewers had that first.
Exactly.
Always. They're getting the truth first, and that is the big issue right now. We need to get into more testing in order to open the economy, so that's going to be subject one this morning. Kirk Knudsen, thank you, sir. We will check out that Apple phone, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much. We got earnings season rolling on this morning. Big